Hello, everybody. This is Vivian from My Spiritual GPS, and welcome to another edition of our TV show. Hope you have been doing well with all this lockdown and pandemic. And I know a lot of the different businesses are already opening, but what this pandemic, this quarantine, and this lockdown has done for many of us is it has awakened some of the sleeping giants within us. Some of us are now um, more serious and committed to their sole purpose, but some of us are actually triggered. Some people that I have spoken with are more stuck somehow. They don't have a lot of energy, they're depressed, they're bored, and the question is, what happened? How come some of us respond differently to this pandemic and some of us actually go out there and help more people, be of service, and be the beacon of light? So, I'm going to share with you a little bit of the secrets that I have been doing in the last few weeks. So, this particular place that you're seeing is a special spot that I go to every time that I am busy in my head and I needed some quiet time. This is the Unity Church in Tustin, California. And I go here and find my special spot. There's this little gazebo that I hang out in, and I just stay still and meditate. So I'm going to review again the different 4 stages of your spirit when you're being awakened. The first part is awakening. Awakening is usually a form of emergency for a lot of people. Awakening is when they have some form of an illness or an emergency that they need to do something about, and they need to do something about now. So usually those wake-up calls are like 2x4s, and it allows us to look at our lives differently. Just like this pandemic, because it's been almost forced upon us that we can't go anywhere, we have to do social distancing, right? So this is a sort of an awakening, but this time the whole humanity has to awaken. So a lot of the triggers, whatever behavior patterns I notice that we are normally doing, that's what comes up. So when you're pushed against the corner, how do you normally respond? Ask yourself that question. Then you start to discover. You start to look at the different ways that you look at your life. It could be you're discovering your own spirituality. It could be you are discovering a new hobby, right? Perhaps when you were little, you wanted to play an instrument, but somehow money or circumstances or your situation did not allow that to happen. And you start to give yourself permission to actually do that. That is the discovery phase. The next phase is surrender. When we surrender, obviously, we already know that we're going to have a new normal. It's not going to be back to where it was before. Therefore, we need to surrender. There are pieces of our lives, perhaps, that we want to take back. But I encourage you to actually look at creating the life you actually desire. That is a better position than trying to put the pieces together, because when your life has been shattered, as this pandemic has done, when your life has totally changed, it could be in the financial arena, it could be the people you work with, it could be your family, right? So everything has changed, and you can't go back to before. So now you just have to create your new normal. And when you do that, and when you align yourself with your soul purpose, and you learn how to take care of yourself, and I'm hoping that with this particular pandemic, you have really learned to connect with what's good for you. Self-care and self-integrity is an important part of finding yourself, your soul purpose. So actually, your soul purpose will find you when you're ready. So if you are ready, obviously, is it always a smooth transition? This pandemic has also triggered a lot of weakness in people's transition. So if you don't like change and you're used to a certain way of doing things, and things are definitely not the way they are used to, you may have difficulty with transition. So I'm going to share with you a little healing that I do when it comes to transition. I want you to put your index finger above your upper lip, and your other hand, if you can put it on your belly button. Okay, so one hand and the other hand above your upper lip, and you're going to take a deep breath and just close your eyes and allow yourself to connect to God and earth, as if there's like a golden tube from the top of your head, like from the heavens, going through the top of your head all the way down to the very center of the earth. When you take a deep breath and bring in like water from the earth, and keep the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and then just release, like, do that again, and let's do it together at least 6 to 10 times, right? Let's do it 6 times together. So take a deep breath in and breathe in blue, like you're bringing in water from the earth, all the way through your legs, through the spine, right? All the way to the top of your head, and then bring it in front of you, but this time it's like a fire energy. As the water comes down in front of your face, bring this bright red energy from the heart, the belly, and the pubic bones. So let's do that again. Breathe in blue, and then breathe out red. Breathe in blue, breathe out red. Breathe in blue, breathe out red. And really stand up tall. Breathe in blue and breathe out red. So this time, put your hands together like in a prayer position in front of your heart with your thumbs touching your heart, okay? So I'm going to have you just breathe in blue and blue, but this time I want you to really breathe in and out just through your nostrils. Okay, so breathe in blue, breathe out blue. Again, keep the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth. Breathe in blue and breathe out blue. Breathe in blue and breathe out blue. Okay, what's the difference? When we breathe in blue, we cool our heads, right? So when you're in your overthinking, over worrying, and over stressing mode, I encourage you to breathe deeply, just like that. So when you inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, you are stimulating your sympathetic system. So let's say you're rushing, you're hurrying up, there's a deadline, and you just want to like get out of that mode. So you have to breathe in blue and breathe out red first, as if you're like discharging the energy. Then when you've settled in, that's when you breathe in blue and just you're allowing cooling down all throughout your body. And that stimulates your parasympathetic system that facilitates rejuvenation and relaxation. So depending on what you're doing, usually when you're in a meditation or yoga or any form of exercise, we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth to release what's before us and after us and just be in the present. But that's the goal of breathing. This is the most inexpensive way of actually centering, connecting to your spirit, connecting to higher guidance and source, and really being aware of your body. Because if you are not aware, you cannot make a choice, like you cannot exercise your self-will. So awareness is a necessary ingredient to have self-will. That's according to Eckhart Tolle. Now, remember we mentioned awakening, we mentioned discovering of your spirit, we mentioned surrender, and the last stage of this reaching for your higher guidance is really the flow. So a lot of us wanted a life of ease, grace, and flow, but then sometimes we don't want to go through the other stages of life. All of us went through that. Just to let you know, you're not the only one. These people that look like they have overnight success just doesn't happen to us, right? Success comes in stages, and if you are willing to be neutral, to be able to receive the energy, whatever happens through life, the goal is for us to learn tools so that we can apply them whatever is happening, right? Money is energy. And money, especially here in 2020, it is no longer about all this struggle and sacrifice and effort. It is about ease, grace, and flow. So even when this pandemic occurred, what did you do in your life to be the leader of your life? How did you bring about your leadership qualities, perhaps at home? You're like the CEO of your home if you're the mother, right? You run the ship. Is it a tight ship? Is it a loose ship? Is it an allowing ship? What kind of leader are you? I'm sure you all have leadership qualities, and whatever you usually do in one thing, you do in everything. So I encourage you to really pay attention to your body, because maybe this was a blessing in disguise, right? For every door that closes, there's always a window that opens. Or perhaps there's a few more doors that's opening for you, but when you are stuck in looking at just one area, or in perhaps you're thinking that's the only way you can make money, then you are not open to the possibilities. So I want you to really open yourself to the possibilities. Ask more active and intelligent questions, like how does it get better than this? Whether your life is going bad or your life is going good, just ask, how does it get better than this? Or what can I do to shift the trajectory of my life, right? Because we cannot allow the situations, the circumstances that we're going through to control our thoughts and our feelings and our behavior. You are the core of your universe. You are your own magnet. So when you are able to allow the release of things that no longer serve you, by the way, as you breathe in all the blessings, there goes the airplane, and the love and the joy and the peace and the truth that comes with living. And as you exhale everything that no longer serves you. What are those things? Anything that makes you tight in your muscles, everything that gives you tension, everything that makes you stressed out or worry too much, those are the things you want to release. So let's practice again, okay? So let's breathe in love, blessings, joy. Okay, whatever color that brings to mind to you. Okay, so let's breathe it in. And then breathe out everything that keeps your mind going in 10,000 miles per hour, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It just keeps on going into the loop, right? So breathe in and then breathe out. And I encourage you to keep on breathing in and out like this a few more times, because as you know, if you are breathing rhythmically, you will notice that your life shows itself as rhythmic as well. It's like a sine wave. It goes up, it goes down, but it doesn't go up so high and it doesn't drop so low, right? Your breath is a good indicator of how you are living life. So I encourage you to practice that, even if you're just breathing, feeling this flow of energy or oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout your spine. try it for yourself. I usually do my meditation a good hour in the morning and also before I go to bed. So there's always a closing of the day. So I encourage you to do that. And definitely you can email me at vivian@feelbetterrehab.com if you have any wins after you've practiced that, and observe what stage your life is in. Because a lot of times, if you are almost to the flow, that means keep on going. When you surrender and you're no longer attached to the outcome, that tells me you're almost there, really connected to your purpose and being happy, because that comes from within. It doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from within you. So then you can just bring your own umbrella everywhere you go. You have your own barometer. You have your own weather. You have your own thermometer, right? So I encourage you to do that, and email me, vivian@feelbetterrehab.com, so that you can share your wins, or you can join our Facebook group, Wealthy Money Mindset. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this show, and tune in again next week for another special edition of My Spiritual GPS.